Hello, how are you doing today?
Hi, I'm doing good.
Good. What would you like to talk about today?
Lately, I've been having a lot of really big issues with my best friend that I've known since preschool.
Okay. Could you please elaborate on those issues?
Yeah, she recently got a boyfriend.
Okay.
And him and I used to be friends, but we really, genuinely do not get along.
Okay.
We don't like each other at all,
Right.
and it's become this huge issue, and I don't know what to do.
So you're demonstrating a lot of dissatisfaction and this worry because you and your best friend's boyfriend are just not connecting or are not understanding each other.
We're not understanding each other, and it's like this hostility when we're around each other.
Right.
Literally, him being around is a problem. It's just, and he doesn't like me.
Right.
Like, we just do not get along at all. It's always, the low blows, this and that, and it's just like a constant battle.
Right. So there's just with what you're telling me, if I'm hearing you correctly, is that you're having a lot of issues with him, and this is in a way maybe causing problems in your direct friendship with your best friend.
It's causing a huge thing because it's to the point where I don't even want to be around her because it brings him around.
Okay.
Like this weekend, for example, we went to the parade, and out of the kindness of my heart, I was like, "Hey, do you want to go? I haven't seen you in a while. Let's go."
Mm-hmm.
And of course, he comes. And my way of not fighting with him is ignoring him. Hey, Frank, whatever. You're not there, blah, blah, blah. And we were talking, and I said something that I wouldn't go to this place. And he's like, oh, well, no wonder why I don't like you. And I was like, you know what? There's a lot of reasons I don't like you. And then that starts with an argument. And then we start fighting, and then my best friend gets mad at me because it's my fault, because he can say whatever he wants to me, because he's just kidding. I don't get how that's okay. Like, why is it okay for him to say whatever he wants? And me, I have to be the one that has to defend myself.
Right. So, you're expressing a lot of anger, and I see that in your tone of voice, it's a lot of hostility towards him. And not just towards him, but in the terms that she's not stepping up for you and defending you in many situations where you guys have encountered some conflict.
Exactly, and there's been plenty. I mean, I could list you examples like crazy. Like, it's just, to me, being with that person, you're responsible for their actions.
Right.
You defend, or you do something. Like, I'm your best friend. Like, she'll just sit there and he'll attack me. And what am I supposed to do? Stay quiet? Like, no, that's not my personality. So that leads to other stuff. We start fighting. My boyfriend is best friends with him. It's a whole thing. It's a whole issue.
Right. So you feel a little, I can say maybe a little disappointed because your best friend hasn't stepped up in situations where you knew that you were right, or at least she could have voiced her opinion and kind of defended you in a way. She just lets him control the situation and gives him the answer, I guess you can say, or believes him more than you.
Like, it's like, oh, well, it's not Frank's fault because he's kidding. Alyssa, you should make it right. Or my boyfriend, oh, well, why don't you just get along with him? Why do I have to put myself down to make sure that he feels okay?
Right.
Because I'm not going to do that for anybody. And I'm past that, and I'm just annoyed in general. Like, I don't feel connected to her anymore.
Okay.
In more than one level.
Okay. So all this turmoil that you speak of and all these problems that you guys having between you, your best friend, and her boyfriend is causing maybe some type of rupture, and you guys are slowly maybe distancing away from each other?
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly it. Like, definitely the distance is there. I mean, I've been best friends with her since preschool. I've known her basically my whole entire life. Like, she is a part of who I am.
Right.
It's hard to just let it go. But at the same time, we're in two completely different places in our lives. And where do you go from there? Do you leave them behind? Do you take them with you? What happens to the day when you have nothing, absolutely nothing in common anymore?
Right. So more than maybe it's a reality that this is happening now. You're noticing that you guys are lacking the same interests. That you guys are not going towards the same goals, and you guys are just slowly going your separate ways.
And it's a reality that I don't want to accept because it hurts. Like nobody wants to accept that.
Right. It's a friendship that you guys have built since you guys were kids, so it's obviously something that's going to be very hard to accept, and if it happens, it's a little devastating to even picture it happening. All this time you guys invested in that friendship, and just see it slowly disappearing it's sad, and it's tough to come down to its senses.
It is sad because it means kind of like leaving something behind that. I mean, but my best friend isn't the person that there is right now. That's not who she is.
Right.
But then again, maybe this is who she's transforming to be.
True.
We're not. I have things going on. I have school. I have work. To her, life is a breeze. It's just like, yeah, mommy, daddy, give me everything. Well, no, like, I have so much to do, and it's just, I don't know. Maybe it's resentment. I don't know, but.
If I'm hearing you correctly, it seems that you are just at a different stage of life right now, where you're at a point where you've matured and realized that maybe there's more to hanging out or going out, parties or stuff like that, and that you gotta actually work hard for what you want. You have responsibilities economically, and she's probably at a different level in terms of maturity and responsibility.
That's like the biggest issue I fight with all the time. My friends, none of my friends go to school.
Right.
My boyfriend's barely starting to go to school. And that was a battle. That's a whole other discussion. But all they want to do is party. It's like, oh, when are we going to Vegas? When are we going to go do this? When are we going to go do that? Alyssa, when are you going to call off? Go do this. I'm like, I have to work a lot. Yeah. And I have school. Just because my priorities are different than yours, and then I get told stuff, make myself feel bad, like I think I'm up here. But I'm not. I mean, whatever. I don't think so.
So it seems like overall they're just having difficulty understanding that right now you have other priorities and you're trying to reach these goals that you set for yourself, that it makes them feel like you don't have time for them, and that maybe you're just changing yourself, when in reality it's not the reality. It's actually just things that you want to accomplish, and they somehow don't understand that.
Yeah, and it makes me like not want to be around them anymore. Like my best friend, I don't even, after the parade, like I don't care anymore.
Right.
I don't want to be around her because that leads to being around him, and it's like I have a feeling that I should not be around them anymore.
Okay.
It doesn't make me happy. It upsets me. The hostility alone just like takes over my body.
Right. So if I'm hearing you correctly, it seems like this hostility is winning over you, and it's really just made you not even want to see him or even hang out with him, causing an extra distance from your friendship. Because you don't want to be involved with him, which means that you don't want to be with her either, because they're always together.
And I mean, like, nobody wants to have their boyfriend and their best friend fighting.
Right.
Nobody wants that. I feel for her. But I've done everything in my power. And from the bottom of my heart, I do not like him. And I don't see myself ever being like, hey, blah, blah, blah. No.
Okay.
I can't.
Can I ask you a question, if you don't mind? It may sound a little direct, but it's something that I want to ask you. Do you ever give yourself time or do you provide an opportunity to just be with her, or try to make some growth time? Communicate these feelings that you have without that third person being there, and just exchange ideas and thoughts, and just really show your feelings and how you're feeling, to maybe try to come to a solution.
I mean, I see your point of view, I think it has a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but then she'll get offended,
Okay.
or I'll get offended, and it'll just be like, okay, well, we're just not gonna talk about it.
Okay.
We literally don't talk about it.
Okay.
Him and I can be arguing in the same room, and she won't even bring it up.
Okay. So it's like a taboo.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are not. You guys don't talk about it.
Mm-hmm. And it's my fault too, obviously, like because we both don't talk about it. But it's like one time, he was being a total jerk. Like he was just making. I don't know, he was being so rude, and I literally stare at her like, "You're not gonna do anything." She say where. We didn't talk for a week after that, 2 weeks after that, and she still hasn't brought it up. I mean, we talk now, but she still hasn't brought it up. I feel like it's her responsibility as a girlfriend of a douchebag like that to say something.
Right. So let me stop you there real quick and point out the fact that every time you talk about him, you express yourself with all these body movements, and you're just very agitated and you're angry. He causes you to be very angry. Um, can you elaborate on that?
He gets me really mad.
Yeah.
Really, or even like now that you point that out, I can hear my voice a little bit. It's a little like more intense when I bring him up. I mean, that just shows how much he just irks me. Because he's not a nice person. He's not a nice person, and she's so blinded.
He agitates you. I see.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And she's so blinded. Like, oh, he's so sweet. I'm like, what? Mm-hmm. He's not sweet.
Right.
He is a jerk. Mm-hmm. But then again, we've all been in that position before.
So, you see him as a jerk. You see him as a bad person. Maybe a thing that I want to point out is maybe you sense a little bit of worry for your friend. That she's maybe in this type of relationship where you see it ending in a bad way.
I'm glad you bring that up because it's completely true. She's been in those bad relationships before. Mm-hmm. She's always a victim. Right. And I don't want her to be the victim. I don't. That's the last thing I want for her. And again, it's the same thing. The other one drank too much. Act like a jerk when he was drinking. But then she'll forget about it the next day because he was just drunk. Because he's just kidding.
That's an excuse.
Alyssa, it's okay. Mm-hmm. It's not okay. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how much to talk to her. When do you stop, helping them? Right. I mean, because then when you keep helping, then you become the bad person.
Right.
So
your tone of voice now is a little more calm now that you're talking about worry and how you fear a little where she might end up or how she might end up in this relationship where, in the past she's already experienced bad relationships and could be another repeat of that.
It's definitely a worry. It's something that crosses my mind a lot, and I mean, but then again, I'm over it too. Mm-hmm. I'm over caring. I don't want to be around him at all.
Completely.
At all. Like, it's just not worth my time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to have problems with her, and I'm not going to have problems with my boyfriend over him.
Right.
He's completely not even worth it.
Right.
I tried the best I could, and it's still not enough, and he still wants to fight about it, then that's it. I'm not going to deal with it.
So you feel that you've done your part, mm-hmm. You've put in the effort, and you've worried enough, and you've been angry enough that you just want to leave things how they are and see how they play out.
1,000%, I feel like I've put in my part when it comes to him. I don't think I have any more in me that can do more.
Your conscience is pretty much, you consciously know that you've done your best to maybe to try and solve the issues and maybe even save your friendship. But it's at the end, that's it. You're done. You're ready to move on.
Yeah, I think I am. I mean, obviously still stay in contact with her, but I don't think we'll ever go back to being like that. Mm-hmm. She wants to marry him, blah, blah, blah. Like, and that's fine, but that toxic environment is just not for me. Yeah. I don't want to be around it. I have enough in my life and then to be dealing with that.
I see. Well, Alyssa, to summarize our session today, you showed a lot of hostility and a lot of anger towards towards your best friend's partner. It's caused a lot of turmoil with the friendship that you've had for years with your friend, and you've come to realize that you've done your part, you put in your effort, and you've done what you can in order to save your friendship. But you are at a point right now at different levels of maturity, and you guys have different goals. Uh, and these are just little things that are making you guys go your separate ways and slowly, causing this friendship to slowly vanish.
Well, thank you.
It makes you sad,
Yeah.
but you come to realize that maybe everything will play out the way it's supposed to play out.
Thank you.
Well, you're very welcome. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.